like that. And then you're going to uninterlace those fingers. Drop them behind your back, interlace them behind your back. Drop your hands, lift your chest. So nice chest opener here. Big inhale, puff your chest up. Big exhale, let it go. And then we're going to release those arms, give them a little shake. And then you're going to inhale, sweep your arms up one more time. Then you're going to interlace your fingers, and then I want you to interlace them the other way. So the other thumb is on top. It is going to feel funny. And then press your arms up towards the ceiling. Little tick-tock from side to side. Kind of step one of opening up that low back here. And then bring it back to the center. Exhale, arms come down. One more time, interlace behind your back. And then interlace so that the other thumb is on top. I think it feels super weird in this lower position. Big stretch. Puff up your chest. And then release, give your arms a little shake. And then we're going to go hands to the hips, feet in parallel. Let's take just a little rock forward and back from heel to the ball of the foot.
Hey,
Kind of
Tracy,
centering.
foot
Yeah.
stuff you do is also good. My feet are super.
Oh, good.
Grumpy.
Well, let's do some feet stuff today. I like it. And then let's bring it back to center, rock to the outside of your feet, and then to the inside of your feet. I love doing feet stuff. That didn't sound good. I take that back.
we will trust your intentions.
Did not come out the way I meant. And then bring it back to center. I want you to spread all 10 toes, unless you've got socks on, in which case it's fine. Just spread them as much as you can. And then try to lift just your big toe up off the mat or off the floor. Again, if you've got socks on, just do the best you can. And then put your big toe down. Try to lift your other toes, but leave your big toe down. I can do this. Yeah, I can do this. I can do it on my right foot better than my left foot. And then put all your toes down, spread them out. Spread your weight from your heel to the ball of your foot across your toes. And then we're going to shift all of our weight into our right leg. Give it a squeeze. Lift your left leg up, hold. And then we'll tap the ball of our foot. Exhale, lift. And tap. And lift. So a few like that. Lift. 3, 2, lift and hold. Now moving from your hip, open to the outside, back in, open, and close. So getting some ankle strength here as well as some hip work on the other side. 3, 2, 1, bring it back to center. Now, moving from that hip joint, rotate in, rotate out. I like this one because it gets you out of your usual range of motion. Create some space in that hip. 3, 2, 1. Find your little tree, give it a little stretch. And then we'll bring that foot up above our knee, sit back, find your little chair. So this foam roller can be a really handy kind of kickstand in this situation. And then we'll stand up, give that leg a little shake, give the other leg a little shake, bring it back to center. So spread your feet back out, spread your weight across your feet. It's evenly distributed. Shift all your weight into your left foot, lift your right foot up, hold. Squeeze this standing leg. And then tap the ball of your foot, exhale, lift. Tap, lift. Tap, and lift. Good for 5. Tap, 4, 3, Last one, lift it up, hold. Now you're gonna open to the outside, back in. Open, close. Open and close. For 4 and 3. Last one, back to center. Rotate in, rotate out. If you like that, you're really moving from the top of your thigh bone. For 3, 2, 1, and then find your little tree, give it a little stretch. Big inhale, big exhale. Then we're gonna find that chair. You're gonna bring that foot up above your knee, sit back. Little standing figure 4. And then we'll stand up, shake it out, shake the other leg, shake both of them. And then we're gonna head to the end of our mat. So you're going to go ahead and just lay your foam roller down in front of your feet today. We'll get to it. And so let's take a couple of roll downs here. Inhale, arms sweep up. Chin drops your chest. You're gonna round up, you're gonna round forward. And you should be able to get your hands pretty close to on top of your roller. You're gonna take a big bend in your knees so that your hands can come all the way down onto your roller. And if that's super easy and you can get your hands to the floor, then by all means, go for it. We're gonna take a bigger bend in our knees and then straighten our legs. Bend and straighten. Couple like that. 3, 2, 1. Pause. Drop your arms. Tuck your chin. Round your spine all the way up. Arms float up. Arms down. 2 like that. Big inhale. Big exhale. Arms come down. 1 more. Big inhale up. Big exhale. Now inhale, arms sweep back up. Inhale, up and over, round it all the way down. Bend in the knees, hands come to the floor in front of your roller. You're gonna walk it out. Find a plank here where your shins are on top of your roller. You could be on your forearms here. If you need to be on your knees, that's fine too. The foam roller will just kind of hang out. Hold here. Big inhale. Big exhale. You're gonna tuck your toes under so they come to the floor, pike up, find a little down dog. Heels drop, tail lifts, head drops towards your thighs. And then you're gonna give that foam roller a little, actually, let's leave it there for a minute. So you're gonna come back down so that you can come onto hands and knees. We want to kind of maneuver that foam roller so it's underneath your shins. So below your knee, you just kind of wiggle that guy into place. If this is a no-go, please feel free to leave the foam roller out. It is not required for any of these things. Use it at your discretion, but it makes all of this way more interesting. So we're gonna do a little bird dog. Let's work just the legs for a second. So you're gonna reach your right leg back. Exhale, lower down. Left leg reaches back. Lower down. And right. Lower. Left. Lower. Let's go 2 more each side. Last one right. Reach. Last one left. Reach. Now let's try just the arms. So right arm reaches forward. Exhale, lower. Left arm reaches forward. Lower. Right. Lower. Feel like you guys you're smart girls. You know where this is headed. 1 more each side. And then we're going to try to put it together. So let's reach our right arm forward. Try to reach your left leg back. We're just going to do 4 on each side. Exhale, lower. Switch it. Right leg, left arm. Exhale, lower. Inhale, switch, reach. Lower. Halfway there. Well, that's hard. I like it. You got to use your brain a little bit. If you stick your tongue out, that helps. Last one, each side. And then bring it down. You're going to tuck your toes under and just kind of bump that foam roller up to your hands. Go ahead, bring that foam roller underneath your arms. Bring your feet together, knees apart, round forward. So rolling out into a little child's pose. Wiggle your fingers and really think about trying to drop your tailbone down towards your feet as if you could sink your tailbone between your heels. Big inhale, big exhale. And then we're going to turn this into a little plank. We're going to stay on our forearms. Come up into hands and knees with that foam roller underneath your forearms. And then step back, little plank. So we're not dipping through our belly here. Nice long line. Pull your belly button up towards your spine. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to come down onto our knees. I want you to tuck your toes under. Reach back for your pinky toes. Pull them forward, both feet. And then you're going to walk yourself up into a little kneeling position. Drop your weight back towards your feet. You might be able to kind of sit on your feet. I can't quite get there. My quads are not that nimble. But trying to shift your weight backwards as much as you can. So really good plantar fascia stretch here. Also just kind of get your toes in a different place. I got a couple of foot stretches that I really like. This is one of them. This is also a nice quad stretch. It's kind of a 2-for-1. And then let's come forward, bring our hands to the mat, tap your toes out. Tappy, tap, tap. And then you're going to take your foam roller. We're going to spin it out long in front of us. So before we come on top of it, we're going to do a little variation on our thread the needle stretch. So you're going to be on hands and knees, and you're going to bring that foam roller outside of one knee. It doesn't matter which direction, but let's say it's on the outside of your right leg, and your right hand is just inside the foam roller. So it's kind of off to the side. And then you're going to bring the opposite arm on top. You're going to keep a nice long flat back here, and you're going to thread that needle through. We're not going to bend our elbow and kind of slump into it. You're going to keep your back straight and just take it as far as it'll go. May not be super far. Working on a little upper back stretch. Low back pain is often caused by upper back tightness. Why sitting at a computer all day is really terrible on your low back. It's a combination of your chair and having your arms forward at your keyboard all day. Great combo. And then we'll bring it back to the center, switch it out. So you just lift that foam roller up to the other side. Hand and knee are inside the foam roller, opposite arm on top. Palm faces up. Keep your back long, nice and straight. And twist just as much as you can, keeping your back nice and straight. Big breath in, big breath out. One more, big breath in, try to stretch just 1 more inch. And then we'll roll it back to the center. So foam roller is on the mat, long ways, like long ways with the length of your mat. And then you're going to bring yourself on top of your foam roller. This is the fun part because people just like you climb up on their roller. And then you're going to scoot your tailbone down towards the end. We're going to reach our arms out nice and long, and we're going to inhale, tuck our chin, tuck our tail, and we're going to roll it down one vertebrae at a time. So once you land, scoot yourself so that your head and your tail are both on the roller. So you should have 3 points of contact here, the back of your head, between your shoulder blades, and underneath your pelvis. You can kind of give it a little rock from side to side. Take your arms out to a T for a second and just give it a little tilt back and forth. You can think of it as kind of being on a ship or in a hammock, but it's a nice time to just kind of make sure all your body parts are where they need to be.
Hey, Erin,
Feet are on the floor.
It's okay. It's okay.
And then we'll bring it back to center. We're going to lift our arms up towards the ceiling, palms face in. You're going to inhale, drop your arms back by your ears so that your thumbs come towards the mat. Now do that without puffing your belly up towards the ceiling. Exhale, lift your arms up. Inhale, reach them back just as far as you can. That may be the floor, it may not. Exhale, lift. Big shoulder stretch there. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, lift. Couple more. Lift. Last one. And then we'll bring it up towards the ceiling. Palms are still facing in. This time we're going to open our arms out to a big T. Exhale, float them up towards the ceiling. Inhale, open. Some more of a chest stretch here. And lift. And open. So you might get the backs of the palms of your hands to the floor. You might not. Okay, either way. I've got a lot of older guys in my class at Milestone, and like, they're not even close to the floor. And then lift it back up. This time, you're going to bring your hands behind your head. Once you get as far as you can, you're going to flip your palms up towards the ceiling. And then you're going to bring your arms into kind of a goalpost shape, elbows bent. And then you're going to keep drawing your elbows towards the foam roller. So you're in kind of a W shape. And then you're going to open your fingertips down towards the mat, towards your toes. And then you're going to lift your arms back up to the ceiling. Same thing. Drop your hands back, flip your palms up, squeeze your elbows through goalposts down towards the roller, and then open your fingertips towards your heels, lift back up. So you're making a big W shape, and then opening your fingers long. Let's go one more, and once we get there, we're gonna leave our arms long on the mat. And take a pause. Hands stay on the floor. We're going to lift our right leg to tabletop, lift our left leg to tabletop. So hands on the floor is a great idea here. If you want to make it a little tougher, you could come up on your elbows and take away some of that balance. If you were feeling real crazy, you could reach up to the ceiling, but I don't really recommend it. But you could. I mean, it's possible. So legs are in tabletop, knees are over your hips, shins are parallel to the floor. You're going to tap your right toes down. Exhale, lift. Left toes tap and lift. Tap and tap. Good. Lower, lower. 3 and 2. Last one. Now, a little bit different than how we normally sequence this, so stay with me, don't jump ahead. You're gonna bring your right leg out, left leg in, and then switch. And switch. We call that participate, don't anticipate. Reach, switch, switch, switch. For 3, 2, last one. Bring it back to center. Legs come back to tabletop. Going to double toe tap. Squeeze your legs together. hinge from the hips, reach both feet down. Exhale, lift. As always, it is okay if you do not reach the floor. Protect your low back. Make this movement smaller if you need to. Tap. Tap. Lift. 5. Up. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Lift it up. Pause. Go ahead, bring your feet to the floor for a second and just take a little kind of almost a butterfly. Drop your knees open and then drop your knees in towards the middle. Drop them open. Drop them in. Give those hip flexors a little break. And bring it back to center. Right leg tabletop, left leg tabletop. Now, you're going to reach both feet out on an angle, point your toes, exhale, bring them back in. Inhale, reach out. That angle might be high towards the ceiling. Reach, exhale. Inhale, reach, exhale in, reach, and in. 4, and 3, 2. Last one. Draw it in. Reach your legs up towards the ceiling. Point your toes. Inhale, reach your legs out and away. Exhale, lift. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lift. Long legs, pointy toes. If you have to bend your knees, you've gone too far. Exhale up. Just 3 more. 2. Last one. And bend your knees. Set your feet down on the floor. So we're going to reach our arms up towards the ceiling. Palms face in. Inhale, chin to chest, heel, head, neck, shoulders up, gazes down at your belly button. Once you can see your belly button, see if you can pull it down an inch towards the roller. Exhale, roll back down. Inhale, little lift up. Exhale, lower. Little lift. And lower. For 3. And 2. Last one. Lower down, pause. We're going to bring our hands behind our head, open our elbows. You're going to lift head, neck, shoulders up, and then I want you to twist towards whichever side makes it easier for you to see me. Now, I want you to lift up a little higher, back down, pulse up, lower, twist, twist, twist. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to center, lower down, pause. Inhale. Exhale. Little crisscross variation. We're going to curl head, neck, shoulders, back up, twist towards the opposite side. Little pulse up, 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 up. Lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to center. Roll it back down. Pause. Take your legs out long. I'm going to scoot myself back. So legs are out long. You've still got 3 points of contact here. So the foam roller is still under your head, between your shoulder blades, and underneath your pelvis. You're just reached out nice and long. You're going to open your feet a little bit wider than your hips. This is pretty important when we do this kind of roll up variation on the roller, because if your feet aren't wide enough, you will almost definitely fall off. So feel free to open your feet pretty wide. Arms reach up towards the ceiling. Couple of those half curls here. Inhale, chin to chest, heel, head, neck, shoulders up, gaze at your belly button. Exhale, roll back down. Couple more. So we're going to turn this into a roll up. If you would rather stay in this half curl position, just keep doing a few of these. Let's go 1 more. And then if you want to try this full roll up, it's inhale, Chin to chest, peel head, neck, shoulders up, and then you push your feet forward and into the mat. Sit up tall, round forward out over your feet. Sit up tall, roll all the way back down with control. We're going to try 2 more like that, or stay with your half curls. Either is fine. I think this is kind of fun because it doesn't seem like you should be able to do it. And roll over, sit up tall, pause here, and then we're going to roll down if you're not there already. And then I want you to gently roll off the side of your foam roller. So gently. Then I want you to spin that foam roller around. We're going to start with it underneath our knees in kind of a comfortable spot, probably a little closer to your thighs than your calves here. Reach your arms out nice and long, roll yourself down. You may need to adjust it when you get here. So your feet are kind of lightly touching the floor. Arms reach up. A couple little half curls here. Inhale, chin to chest, peel head, neck, shoulders up. Exhale, lower. Just a few little curls and lower. So what I've done here is I've taken away your ability to use your hip flexors to do this by putting that foam roller under your legs. It probably feels pretty good because hip flexors get so grabby. Last 2. Last one. Roll it down. Arms float to the floor. And then we're going to bring our feet on top of our foam roller. So this is going to be a lot of hamstring. We're going to do some bridging with our feet on the roller. If your hamstrings say, no way, please stop and roll the foam roller out of the way and just put your feet on the floor. Hands are on the mat. Roller is underneath your feet. You're going to press your low back down, roll up, find your bridge. So you're squeezing your glutes. You're pulling your ribs in towards the middle as if you were going to interlace your fingers on the front of your chest. And then roll back down. Land at the bottom. Few more like that. Inhale, roll it up. Exhale, roll it down. 2. Roll it down. Last one. Roll it up, hold. Now, if you're not using the foam roller here, just stay in bridge. If you're using the foam roller, can you roll your legs out and away and then roll them back up? Roll it out. Oh, roll it up. 2 more. Roll it out. Roll it up. Last one. And roll out of that bridge. Roll your legs out long. Give them a little shake. Big inhale. Big exhale. Then we're going to kick that foam roller up towards our bottom. You're going to bring it underneath your pelvis. So I don't want it out underneath your tailbone. I don't want it up under your low back. Right underneath your pelvis. Big bone runs across your body. One of the ways I like to make sure it's in the right spot is to take a couple of kind of windshield wipers here where I drop both knees to one side and then the other. If this is underneath your pelvis, you'll feel it just kind of like right underneath all your joints where you're moving your legs. If it's under your low back, it'll feel terrible. And if it's under your tailbone, you'll probably just kind of fall over. So settle in here. And let's go back to those toe taps. So let's bring our right leg to tabletop, left leg to tabletop. This should feel comfortable. So if you're not comfortable, move that foam roller around. Tap your right toes. Exhale, lift. Left toes, lift. Right, lift. Left, and up. Tap, lift. Tap, lift for 2. Exhale, up. Tap. Last set. Good. Now we're going to glue those legs together. Double toe taps, reach them down and lift. Inhale, lower, belly button sinks. Exhale, lift. Imagine there's something heavy on your stomach. Something heavy in my stomach because we didn't eat lunch until 3 o'clock. Tap, lift for 3. And lift. 2. Last one. Lift it up, pause. I want you to hug your right knee in to your chest, reach your left leg out. You're trying to get your foot to the floor. You should get a big hip flexor stretch in your left leg. You can't get your left foot to the floor here. It means that hip flexor needs more stretching. This is a great way to do it. You can also do this stretch laying on the end of your bed or the end of your sofa. So just imagine that the end of your bed or sofa is in the same place as the foam roller. If you've gone to physical therapy with hip flexor issues, they've probably had you do this like off the end of the table. It's all kind of the same idea. Now, you've got your right knee into your chest. You're going to bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee, drop your right hand to your roller, take a big twist to your left. Right knee coming to your left side, look towards your right hand. Spine twist with a little added hip massage. And then we'll bring it back through the center. Go ahead, set your right foot down. Bring your left foot back to the floor. So you're back, just feet on the floor, knees up. Let's hug that left leg in, right leg out. So same stretch may feel different on the other side. If it does feel significantly different, you might want to do the side that feels way harder an extra time after class. Give it a little extra love. Big breath in, big breath out. Then we'll bring our right hand to the opposite of our left knee, left hand to the roller, big twist to your right. Look towards your left hand. Don't pull. And then we'll bring it back to the center. Left foot comes down, right foot comes back to the floor. And then let's bring our right leg to tabletop, left leg to tabletop. Bring both legs up towards the ceiling. So let's start with a big kind of scissors variation. You're going to split your legs front to back and just split them open as wide as you can. Hands are on the roller. You're going to give it a little pulse, pulse, switch, pulse, pulse. 1, 2. This should feel nice, stretchy but nice. 1, 2, 1, 2. Bump, 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 bump. For 3 and 2. Last one, hamstring, and 1. Bring those legs back up to the ceiling. Now, we're going to go the opposite direction. I want you to drop your legs towards the outside and then bring it back to the top. Cross your right leg in front of your left. Open to the outside. Come up, cross left foot in front of the right. Open, cross. Open, switch. Open, switch. Big open, switch. 3. Up, inner thighs. Minor touch. Open, switch, last set. Bring it up. Pause here. So your left foot's in front. Your legs are kind of squeezed together. Your toes are pointed. Now, little movement, little switch. Switch, switch, switch. Point your toes, squeeze your thighs together. Now, can you start to lower your legs as you switch? Switch, switch, switch. Work your way back up. Switch, 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 switch. One more time, all the way down. Little switches, trying to keep those legs really tight. Switch, 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 switch. Work your way all the way back up to the top and pause. Hug your knees into your chest. Big inhale. Big exhale. One more, big breath in. Big breath out. Now we're gonna bring those legs back to tabletop. Last little bit of core here, I promise. Legs are in tabletop, toes are pointed. You're gonna reach your legs out and away on that angle like we did earlier. Exhale, draw it back in. Squeeze your legs together. Inhale, reach. Exhale in. Inhale, stretch. Exhale in. Hands could be on your roller. You could be up on your elbows with your hands floating up. You could reach your arms up to the ceiling here. Take away a little bit of that balance. For 3. In. 2. Last one. Bring it back to tabletop. You're gonna flex your feet. So imagine your feet were pressed up against the wall here. Now you're gonna press that wall away. Back in. So higher to the ceiling will be easier here. 45-degree angle would be great. Anything lower than that's not gonna be great on the foam roller, even though we would normally go a little lower. So 90 to 45 degrees here, thereabouts. Press. Keep flexing those feet for 2. And 1. Bring it back to center. You're gonna bring heels together, toes apart, knees are open. So your legs are in kind of a diamond shape, or you could think this is a frog shape, which I think is way more fun. Now you're gonna press your legs out, squeeze your inner thighs together, squeeze your calves together, draw it back in, flex your feet. Inhale, press out, squeeze together. Exhale, back in. Press, squeeze in. Press, back in. Inhale, press out. Exhale, draw it in. Keep flexing your feet. Press. You feel your inner thighs doing a lot. For 2. Last one. Draw it back in. Great job. We're almost done here. Bring those legs back to tabletop. Point your toes. Bring your legs out on an angle. Point your toes. Hold. Flex your feet. Point your toes. Flex your feet. Point. Flex. Point. Flex. Point. Flex. 3, 2, 1. Draw those knees in. Give them a little hug. Big inhale. Big exhale. We're going to bring our feet to the floor. You're going to lift up into a little bridge and roll that foam roller up and work your way up to seated. Foam roller is now underneath, like right under your shoulder blades. So basically line it up with like your bra band so that it's just underneath your shoulder blades. Hands are going to come behind your head. And you might, I like it a little higher, so play around with that a little bit. Mine is like right under the bottom of my shoulder blades. Hands are behind your head. You're going to tip yourself back so that you can open your upper back over the roller. So kind of adjust here, find where that ideal spot is for you, and then lift your head back up, tuck your chin, draw your belly button down. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, lift it up. Protect your neck. Hold your head up with your hands. Your head's heavy. Couple like that. Tip it back. Lift it up. 2 more. Now on this last one, tip it back, pause. And then you're going to add a little roll. So kind of lift your butt up off the mat and give yourself a little roll along your shoulder blades. Keep holding on to your head. Support your neck. And then you might try tucking your chin, crossing your arms over your chest, and same thing. See if that opens up between your shoulder blades a little bit. If that's uncomfortable on your neck, bring your hands back where they were. And then we're going to bring our feet to the floor. You're going to scoot that roller. So now it's below your shoulder blades. Hands cross over your chest. And you're gonna roll from the bottom of your shoulder blades just to the bottom of your ribs. So working kind of that mid back, just cracked like every bone in my vertebrae. So just rolling there back and forth, adjust as needed. I somehow move more than anybody else I've ever met when I do this. So just back and forth a couple of times. And then you're gonna work into your low back. So bottom of your ribs to your hips. And you might bring your hands to the floor here and do a little roll back and forth. At the end of class, I'll show you guys another thing, another device that I really like. Now, while you're here on your low back, I want you to kind of tip yourself to one side so that you can roll along your spine. So like just to the side of your vertebrae. You might twist a lot. You might drop your arm to the floor. But you're just kind of rolling those long spinal extension muscles. If you have a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball, you could also do this with your back against the wall and hit some of those little spots along your spine. Just remember, you're not really trying to roll your spine so much as you're trying to roll the muscles around it. And then let's start to work into our hips. I've like moved everywhere. All right, so you're now sitting on top of your foam roller. Hands are on the floor. Let's start with just a little kind of windshield wiper. So drop your knees over to one side, up and over to the other side. As you come through the middle, try to really sink your weight on top of the foam roller. And then bring it back to center. We're gonna find a little figure four stretch. So let's bring right foot in front of our left knee. Press yourself up pretty tall here. And then, so your right knee is bent in front of your left. I want you to tip over to your right hip just a little bit and then roll. Just back and forth on that glute, on that hip. Breathing deeply. And if you find a spot that really needs some extra attention, you can kind of pause and drop your weight into it. You might try changing this angle a little bit. And then we're going to switch it out. So right foot comes to the floor. Bring yourself back to center. Left foot crosses over. Sit up tall first. And then kind of tilt over to your left side. I feel like you'll know the spot when you find it. And then give it a little rock. So you're not going to roll very far here. Adjust that angle as needed. This is really one of my favorite things to do with a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball. You basically kind of plunk that right in this spot that's on top of the roller right now and do like little circles or little figure eights with it. Also, lacrosse ball, really good on your feet. Highly recommend a lacrosse ball if you don't have one. If you guys have them, let me know and I'll put it on the docket and we'll do some lacrosse ball work too. And then bring it back to center. Bring both feet down. And then we're going to take our legs out long. Give your glutes just a little roll. You might keep a little bend in your knees, but trying to get a little more of the glute max here. And just kind of tip it from side to side. Could probably foam roll my butt for like an hour. and still need to go see Kyle on Tuesday. And then we'll bring it back to center. You're gonna bring the roller down closer to your knees, hands to the floor, lift yourself up. We're gonna roll those hamstrings. So from just above your knee to the top of your thighs, you could cross your legs here. Either way, I'd highly recommend kind of tilting to one side and then the other so that you get kind of the inside and the middle and the outside. Some roller is not working with this mat. We'll do that. All right, rolling those hamstrings. Oh, that's better. You could also try turning your knees in towards the middle, turning your knees out to the sides. And then we're going to turn this into our IT band. So flip over to whichever side is easy for you to see. Your bottom leg is on top of the roller. Your top foot is on the floor. You're going to roll from your hip to your knee. And what you really want to do is try to angle this just to the inside and just to the outside. So if you imagine there's a seam, there might be a literal seam, along the side of your pants, you're trying to roll about an inch to either side of that. Your IT band doesn't actually roll very well, but you can roll along the edges of it and break up some of those little adhesions that form along your IT band. This is normally when people give me really terrible faces. That's when I know I've done it right. And then we're gonna make our way over to your other IT band. You could just flip yourself all the way over, or you could do kind of a little spin so that you're still facing me. Whatever you need to do, fine by me. Now we're foam rolling that other IT band, same thing, knee to hip, top foot on the floor, or you might have noticed you can also kind of flop that top knee on top of the roller. Really, whatever works for you is fine here. My left IT band is so much worse. Normally there's a spot where if I kind of pause on it and hold, I can get my foot to shake. I don't really know why. Guess it's probably an indication it needs more foam rolling, kind of guess. And then we're gonna flip it over to our belly. Let's do a little bit of quad here. So basically pelvis to knee, but on the front of your leg. This one should just feel nice. You can keep your legs out long. You can bend your feet up towards the ceiling. Play with it. See what feels good. And then we'll bring it back. So you're gonna flip yourself back around so we can do calves next. So foam roller is right underneath your calves. And you're just gonna roll back and forth. You could stack your legs here, drop a little bit more weight into it. Also, again, I would try kind of turning your feet out so your heels are in, your toes apart, rolling the outsides, and then kind of twisting toes in, rolling the insides. And you could kind of do both feet in, or you could do one of each. But really, this kind of inside part of your calf is where all those shin splint things start to happen and all your plantar fascia things start to happen. So feet issues are frequently tight calf issues. So make sure you're giving those calves some love. I am kind of doing a one at a time calf thing so I can really get those insides. Again, play around with it. There's, I mean, sort of right ways and wrong ways to foam roll, but those are more like don't roll over your joints. kind of play around with it. You'll know where your tight spots are and adjust so that you can get those. I would say don't foam roll over your joints, so avoid your knee, your shoulders, things like that. Don't foam roll your shins. That'll feel terrible. And then we'll bring it back to center. So leave your foam roller there. We're going to work another little foot stretch. So let's go back to kind of a seated figure four. I'm going to bring left foot over right knee. If you want to start with the other side, feel free, but this is the side you're going to be able to see. So I'm going to do it this way. So you're going to take your opposite hand, and you're going to take your fingers between all your toes. And then try to spread your feet, spread your toes, spread them wide. And then take your thumb, press it into the arch of your foot. You could maybe kind of press and do a little circle. You can also keep your fingers there and do big circles with your ankle. But really trying to create some space here in your toes, between your toes, or kind of pressing into the arch of your foot. You might press up towards the ball of your foot a little bit too. Kind of poke around in there. And then we'll do the other foot. So switch that out. Fingers wedge between all your toes. This is always a fun one to teach because normally people are like, what are we doing? But it should feel pretty good. I've kind of gotten into the habit of sitting like this a lot. If you like this, if it feels good, they do make like toe spreaders. Mine are made of like a soft rubber. And they basically just help realign your toes. I'm really worried I'm going to end up with bunions. So I use them to help keep my toes aligned, but also just because they feel really good. Take that finger, take your thumb, press it into the arch of your foot. You can give it a little massage there. You could press it up by the ball of your foot. Take a few ankle circles, the other way. And then we'll pause. Oh, this is good timing. Okay, so we're going to do two things here to kind of wrap up. The first is we're going to do a really deep squat. So kind of get into this how you need, but the idea is that you're going to come onto your feet so that your heels are in, your toes are out. You're going to drop your seat as low as you can, kind of fold your arms in so that you can press your knees back with your hands. I'm not going to have you guys do crow, which is the dumb thing that I was doing when you guys got in here. But I wanted to do this, and when I got into this, I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of a nice crow prep. So just dropping your weight as low as you can. If this isn't comfortable and you need to be up higher with like your hands on the floor, that's fine too. This is another nice kind of low back opener. It's a really nice hip opener. One more big deep breath. And then we're going to come out of this, come onto your seat. You're going to bring that foam roller up by your tush. We're going to pop it up back underneath our pelvis for this last little bit. Roll yourself down. So foam rollers under your pelvis. Couple of options here. So we're going to do kind of a waterfall legs up situation. If you have a wall nearby and you want to do legs up the wall, that'd be great too. You don't have a wall nearby. One of the really nice things with this foam roller, bring your legs into tabletop and then just reach them up to the ceiling. For me, this waterfall pose without a wall normally puts a lot of strain on my hip flexors to kind of hold my legs up here. But when I do it on top of the foam roller, that doesn't happen, or with the wall. So either way, you've got options. Get your legs up. Take a few deep breaths. I'm not going to talk. I am going to talk. I can't help myself. Big inhale. If you don't do a lot of legs up the wall, I highly recommend it. Legs up anything, wall, sofa, car. I've done legs up the side of my car a lot. It's a great way to get fresh oxygenated blood flowing through your legs. It helps drain all the kind of gunk out of your lower legs that builds up because we're normally, you know, the other direction, and our lower legs are closer to the ground and, you know, gravity and whatnot. I always think that I've been up here at least the minimal amount of time needed. If my toes start to kind of tingle a little bit, my calves start to tingle, should feel good. Couple more big breaths here. This is the last thing we're going to do today, so feel free to stay here as long as your heart desires. I could do this all day. Sometimes I do it for long periods of time. A lot of my like post-running workout Instagram posts are written in this position. I like to go upstairs and turn the shower on and then put my legs up the wall while I wait for the shower to get hot. Sometimes I finish long runs and lay in a parking lot and put my legs up anything. Trees, cars, walls. One more big deep breath in. Big deep breath out. Feel free to stay here as long as you would like. If you're ready to get out, you can just bring your feet to the floor, lift up off your roller and slide it out so you can come back up to any sort of seat that makes you happy. That is it for today. Thanks for being here, as always.